In this video, we're going to show you how to install a lower control arm on your Nissan Murano located behind your front wheels. Note the vehicle raised and supported, so it's going to use our 21mm socket to loosen and remove these lug nuts. Now we want to go grab the wheel and remove it. Now the front wheel off and the vehicle is raised and supported. We're going to come underneath here. There is a pinch bolt that goes through the lower portion of our knuckle that holds the ball joint in place. 18mm bolt head, 18mm nut. We're going to put our ratchet on the nut side and our 18mm wrench on here. And we do want to go ahead and break this free. With that free, we're going to switch over to our impact gun and zip that nut off. Slide that on there, just thread that on a couple threads. Then I'm going to go ahead and tap that out. Now if the pinch bolt gets stuck a little bit, we're going to use our punch here, go in the center of that bolt and tap that out. On the inboard portion of our control arm, there are two bolts that attaches to the cradle. Right here, 21mm, and on the top is a 21mm nut. Forward, same thing, same bolt setup, 21 and 21. I'm going to start on the front one here, and I'm going to put a box end wrench on that nut and zip this out. Grab that nut up top. We're going to be reusing this hardware. Now cotter pins are a one-time use, so I'll go ahead and toss that. Then we're going to remove the little cage. It's going to give us access to the axle nut. There it is. Using a 32mm socket, loosen and remove the axle nut. Now at this point here, you do want to make sure that your CV axle will move in and out. You can see that I can move that in, reach around, grab that axle, push it back through. Now for some reason, if that's binding up or it's stuck, go ahead and spray that down with some rust penetrant. You do want to make sure that it is free floating. If yours is stuck, do not smash the axle end with your hammer. You can use a punch, put it in the center and strike it with the hammer until you can get it to move, and then keep working it back and forth until it's free floating like this. Now I want to go ahead and separate our ball joint here from the knuckle. That's why I removed the axle nut. That's going to allow us to go ahead and push this away. Once it's separated, we can push that knuckle away and the axle can stay where it is. I'm going to use our little chisel here. And we just want to open this up a little bit and pop this out. Now what we're going to do is we can take our knuckle assembly and we can push it out and away. We're going to keep our CV axle here. It's going to push in a little bit so we can work this out without pulling and stressing the joints. And when we push this out, we should be able to go ahead and drop our control arm out of the cradle. We can use our pry bar to assist on this, just working this out. Now you do want to be cautious. Once this pulls out, the ball joint just might fall out of the knuckle, so be aware of that. If it doesn't, probably a few whacks with the hammer should help. Let's go ahead and just wipe out where the control arm is going to be going. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our strap here to pull this back. Let's go ahead and get that. Our plan here is to get the 2 frame bolts or the cradle bolts in. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a wrench on here, and I'm going to push on that wrench and hopefully get this to line up. I'm going to go ahead and get one of the nuts started on that there, and just reach up there and get that started, just a couple threads. Now I want to go ahead and get that forward bolt lined up and get that one started as well. Gonna get the nut started on that one there. We're gonna be using our control arm tool here to pull this down. We have a pry bar through it to get some leverage. We can bend this down. We have our ball joint here that needs to go up and in. We're gonna position this up at an angle, and I'm gonna pry this down while I release my strap. I want to be careful not to damage that ball joint boot. Get our axle in there, and let's work this in. Now, if you're having the same issue that we are, we can't get our knuckle to come in far enough, even though our axle is good there. We're going to go ahead and remove our strap for now. Get this out of the way. Now with the strap removed, we're going to go ahead and get our ball joint lined up here a little bit. Going to get that inside. Now sometimes bonking the hub, we can get this to line up a little bit. Now sometimes, even though this is lined up, you can use the chisel tip here to go ahead and pop in here and open this up a little bit. And then we're going to come back here and continue working this. Now at this point here, our ball joint doesn't look like it's fully seated, and we're going to test it, install the bolt, and it's not going in. So the groove on our ball joint stud is not lined up yet. Slight pressure. Boom. Falls right in once it lines up. Hold that bolt, get that nut started on the other side. All right, let's go ahead and tighten down the bolt here. Now we're going to snug down our inboard bolts. Gonna get my wrench on there and snug these down. And go ahead and do the rear one. All right, let's go ahead and torque everything down. Let's torque down our lower bolts here to 125 foot-pounds. Our nut is spinning on the top, so we need to put our wrench on there. There it is. Now let's get and torque down the pinch bolt nut here to 66 foot-pounds. And install the axle nut. I'm going to snug that down. Grab a couple lug nuts and throw this on here. I want to go ahead and torque down the spindle nut to 135 foot-pounds. Let's install the cotter pin and crown. Just get to remove those lug nuts. Now that we have the lug nuts off, install the crown. Kind of line it up so we can get a cotter pin through. Bend over one of the tabs. If you want to, you can also bend the other one over, or you can snip it off. Get it set up on those studs. Then we're going to go ahead and start all of our lug nuts by hand. Now you want to start these by hand. That's going to prevent cross-threading and damaging the studs. Once you get them all started, we'll go ahead and snug these down. Let's now go ahead and torque down the lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds. Now when tightening this here, it's best to do it in a crisscross or star pattern. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.